Welcome back, amazing business owners, to another episode of Business Straight Up, the podcast and place to be if you want to actually make a living doing what you love. I'm so happy to have you here today. This is just kind of a quick little note that I'm sliding in before this episode because I actually recorded this episode before I decided to turn it into a series. So I'm not going to talk about any of the series in this episode just because at the time it wasn't a thing. I actually have 7 episodes coming up. This is the first part in those 7 episodes. That is a series on must-have skills for success in business. I feel like so many people are working on all of these steps and they want the how-to and they want the step-by-step, the template, all of these good things. And those things are awesome. But first we have to start working on our mindset and the things that we need internally so that we can grow our business from inside us out, because our business requires us to be mentally healthy and strong. So today's episode is part 1 of 7. And I say 7, but that might change because as I'm going through these, I'm like, ooh, I need to add that. Originally, it was 6. But I'm really excited to get these out to you. As always, if they're helpful to you, please let me know. Let's listen to episode 90, part 1 of 7, in the new series of must-have skills for success in business. Hey there, amazing business owners. How you doing? Actually, I have a really funny story for you about that. So for anyone who, I'm guessing my younger listeners probably don't even know what that is. That's from Friends. The character Joey Tribbiani would always say that to girls. And he said it with that kind of accent, like that almost Brooklyn, New York type accent. And so when my daughter and I and my mom and my mother-in-law, we were in New York, right outside of the Freedom Tower in November. You may remember my episodes from then. When we were outside, there were several police officers there that were in the counterterrorism unit. And there was a dog, and dogs are my kryptonite. I had to walk up and say hi. Well, my daughter walked up and we were talking with the police officers and she said, I can talk like you. And he said, you can? What do you mean? She goes, how you doing? Oh, sorry. You might hear my dog. So anyway, that was very, very funny. And I always say that just kind of as a joke. It's something we say in our family, but I truly want to know, how are you doing? We are hitting, oh my gosh, it is officially spring break here. But next week is the official beginning of spring. And where's your business at? How you doing? How is 2022 going for you? We are almost a quarter in, which means we should start to see some headway on our bigger goals. But I want to know, head over to the community at businessstraightup.com/community and let me know if I can help you. Today's episode might ruffle some feathers. I'm okay with that. I've been watching some drama go down. Some people complain about education in the photography industry, but I see it across so many different industries as well. So I wanted to talk about staying teachable, consistently learning in our business, because you guys, I've been in this 13 years for boudoir, 16 for photography. And I'm telling you right now that I am constantly learning, like every damn day. And so many people have this ego where they're just unwilling to listen to someone else. And I do feel that it is somewhat cultural, but when it comes to running a business, you will see so much more success if you are willing to learn and listen to other people. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. I have 5 tips for remaining teachable and always keeping your heart and your brain open for learning. I have 5 different tips we're going to walk through, and I'm really excited to share this with you. So let's listen in. Hey there, awesome people. I am Brooke Summer, and you are listening to Business Straight Up, the podcast for creative entrepreneurs to learn, connect, grow, and build the business and life that they dream of. Welcome, let's get going and dive right in. Well, hello there, amazing business owners. Welcome back to another episode of Business Straight Up, the podcast and place to be. If you are a creative business owner or a photographer and you want to actually make a living doing what you love, welcome. My name is Brooke. If you are new here, I am so happy to have you. Thank you so much for pressing play. I have some news to share with you, and I'm super, super excited. I have created, the list is at like 30 something freebies throughout the years. So many free resources, templates and checklists, and all of these free resources that pertain to different pieces of your business. So there's SEO, there's email marketing, there's general marketing, there's website strategy. There are all these little pieces within your business that have all of these resources available. However, it has come to my attention, even from friends, that y'all don't know that these things exist, which is a problem in my own mind, in my own brain, because if I'm creating these things, I want to help you with these pieces of your business. And if you don't know that these things are there, why the heck did I create them, right? So with that in mind, I have decided to put all of them together in a freebie library. I'm really, really excited about this because this means that you can put in your name and email address and see an entire list of freebies and download whatever you need. And you may need something different now than you did a year ago when you first started following me. And that's totally fine too. So this is a one-stop shop, a one-page list of all of the things that I've created throughout the years so that you can just put in your information and get access to all of them at once. I am really, really excited about this. You can access all of these freebies. Now, when I say this, I do need to put in a little bit of a disclaimer and let you know that I'm still updating it. Okay, so right now it's about 25% done. So it is growing day by day, but it is not 100% done yet. And I imagine that it's probably going to keep growing constantly. It's going to keep changing, right? Things in our businesses change. This will change as well. So if you'd like to access the freebie library, it is available at businessstraightUp.com/VIP. That will give you access to the library, the list of all of the freebies, and I can't wait for you to see it. With that being said, I wanted to create an episode. This will probably be shorter than most, and I'm totally okay with that. But I wanted to create an episode to address some of the drama that I've been seeing in some of the Facebook communities specific to the photography industry. Now, personally, I don't know anything about this drama. I don't pay attention to stuff like that, so I don't really know what happened. All I know is that all of a sudden, so many of my friends and colleagues and peers that are boudoir photographers or educators were posting on Facebook, sharing their frustration. I don't know what happened. I don't know what caused it. And even if I did, you know what? This is not the place for it. I truly don't know the details. But we started a discussion based on this drama. And I was also talking about this particular information at WPPI when I was hanging out with some of my other friends who are educators as well. Here's the facts. I have been a boudoir photographer for 13 years now. And that means that I have been in it way before there were so many guides available, way before YouTube had a ton of information. I've been in it since YouTube was basically cat videos. I know I'm a little older than most of you, just by a little bit though, right? But I've been around for a long time. I have watched this industry change exponentially. I have seen so many changes happen that are both good and bad. But one thing that I am seeing more and more and more is that people will come into owning a business and hear that they should charge their worth and know their worth. And for some reason, that statement tends to translate into, I know everything and I know better than you do when you're trying to help me. Now, I hesitate to even talk about this because that doesn't happen always. I have amazing students who are open and ready to learn. And I'm so grateful that those are the people that I attract. But I can tell you right now that when I offer free help in Facebook groups, and I'm not selling anything, I'm not pimping my courses out, I'm literally just offering free help. I have been snapped at, I have been belittled, I have been mansplained. I have had people all but threaten me on these posts simply for offering help. So here's what usually happens. Someone will go into a Facebook group or community and say, hey, I really want to do this. What do you guys think? What has worked for you? Well, as an educator, I go into these posts and I see my friends do the same thing and they are running into the same issues. We will go in and answer the question and say, hey, this is what we have found works very, very well. Because it is not what this person wants to hear, they then attack us and come after us and you don't know what you're doing. Why would you even say that? And we're like, whoa. And if you guys have ever seen me reply on a Facebook thread, I'm very careful to be kind because I know that when you're first starting a business, it can be scary. So I'm very, very careful to be kind. But these people freak out. It almost seems like when they're posting, they just want validation. They just want to hear that they're right. They're not actually interested in feedback from people who have gone before them. You all know how much I believe with everything in me that when you run a business, you get to make the rules. You're the boss. If you don't want to work weekends, you don't have to. If you don't want to do in-person sales, you don't have to. If you don't want to set up your website a certain way, you absolutely don't have to. But when you come into a group and ask for help on a specific set of skills or a specific issue that you're having, and someone who is further along than you are, both in revenue and in years, offers you a suggestion, maybe it would be a good idea to listen to them. Now, again, I'm not saying that what I do works for everyone. There are so many educators out there, and we all have a different perspective, and we all have a different background, and we all have different things to offer. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And my version, my perspective, my way of doing things is just one of many. But when people are asking for help and they are not open to the help that they receive, not only is it frustrating for them because they're not going to reach their goals if they're not actually listening to the help that's provided, but it's really frustrating for the educators who are now very, very frustrated and watching things happen in groups that are so avoidable. This is silly, guys. This is silly. We can fix this. So I wanted to do a podcast episode on 5 tips to stay teachable in your business. As I said, I'm 13 years in when it comes to boudoir photography, 16 years in for photography in general. I've been running my business for a long time, and I have not always been successful at that business, but I have now for 8 years. I have had a multiple 6-figure business now for 8 years. I know a little bit, you guys. And even with all of that experience and success and being where I want to be, I am still open to learning. I actually have a mastermind group that I'm a part of that is about 6 or 7 photographers other than myself, where we just throw around ideas. And I even have friends that I'm on her email list. She's on my email list. She'll send something out and I just send her a note. Hey, that's awesome. Do you mind if I use that? She's like, no, totally. Go ahead. Because we do that for each other. We are always open to learning. And I will tell you right now that that is a key component of being successful in any business. As soon as you believe that you know it all and you're unwilling to hear anyone else's suggestions or ideas, your business is not going to go very far. There's that saying, the cream always rises to the top, right? And I'm telling you, a huge part of that cream is being open. So we're going to talk about 5 tips to remain teachable. And that is the first one. My first tip for remaining teachable so that you can grow your business and see the success that you want to see is to keep an open mind. Now, what does that mean? Well, the things that were working 10 years ago when it comes to a photography business or any other business may not be working anymore. And that's okay. So many people want to get upset about it and think about the good old days when they could just do a certain set of things and see the success. But guess what? The world changes. The only thing that's constant in our world and in our culture is change. Things are going to change, and this requires you to constantly keep an open mind, to innovate, to add new things, to change things up. Now, if something is working really well, then don't change it. But it could mean you add something additional onto what is already working really well. Who wouldn't like another revenue stream, right? Always, always, always keep an open mind because you never know who you're running into and what you can learn from them. You could run into on the street the most brilliant business mind out there. And if you're rude to them, or if you don't want to listen to them, you could miss out on something so valuable in their expertise and their help. Always keep an open mind. Always go into things with an open mind and a heart to learn. Always, always, always. I don't care how long you've been in business. I don't care how successful you are. We are always learning. And that takes us to number 2. Lose the ego and be respectful. I cannot even tell you how many times I have had people that have been in business for a year tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And then I see them for the next 6 months go into these Facebook groups complaining that they don't have clients constantly. One person even told me, well, Brooke, that only works for you because you're a business person first and then an artist, but I'm an artist first. And I didn't say it at the time, but I wanted to say, well, how's that working out for you? Are you able to pay your bills with that? Because guess what? Art is beautiful and we are all creating art. But the bottom line is that if you don't know how to market yourself, you can be the absolute best at what you're doing and you won't be doing it for long unless it's a hobby. And the IRS is pretty clear cut on what they consider a business or a hobby. This is not my rule, you guys. This is the IRS. These are the people that we have to report our earnings to. They are the ones that set the rules on what is a business and what is a hobby. And I'm telling you right now that if you go into situations where you are seeing other people ask for feedback or you're asking for feedback yourself and you think you know everything because you're not, number one, keeping an open mind, you're going to miss out on some amazing expertise. There have been times that I have had just conversations with my friends who are also educators, who are brilliant business people. And just in a 10-minute conversation talking about something, I learned something completely new. Or I hear an idea on a different way to do something. Or I hear a different way of phrasing something. The words that we say, all of these little things that matter so much when it comes to running a successful business that I just pick up in talking with amazing people because I'm constantly learning. Lose your ego and this idea that you know everything and always be respectful. And I want to put this out there and just let everyone know who's listening. This is not directed at you personally. I feel like I have to say that, which sounds kind of funny on a podcast, but so many people take things very, very personally. This is not directed at you personally. This is something that I'm seeing constantly in several business industries. Even though I'm not a professional baker, I'm in a lot of baking groups because I love to bake. And even though I'm not one of those people that makes like the pretty cups and tumblers, I like to make those for myself. And so I'm in a lot of those groups as well. So I'm watching a ton of different business conversations. My experience personally is with photography and the photography industry, but I'm telling you, I am watching this in other industries as well. This is not just for photographers. It is so important to always keep an open mind, to always be willing to learn, to lose your ego and be respectful. And that is across the board, regardless of what business you're in. You probably hear or read all the time on podcasts and courses, various communities, that you need to do certain things or have specific processes in place to help with your business. Whether it's lead follow-up, email templates, or workflow, all of this can be so overwhelming, right? Especially when you don't know where to start. I have spent 15 years creating processes that are repeatable for my own business. And last year, I finally launched my online shop where my email templates, workflows, and questionnaires are all available for purchase. And just for my amazing podcast listeners, I have a special code available for you for 10% off of any product on the shop. Just head over to shopwithbrooke.com. Don't forget the E on the end of my name and use the code BSU podcast, like Business Straight Up Podcast, to get 10% off of any product, anything on the shop. Don't let overwhelm or all of the shoulds take precious hours of your time that you could spend with your family or doing what you really love. Check out the templates and pre-done systems that you can copy and paste and implement at shopwithbrooke.com to start rocking your marketing and your business today. Number 3, ask for feedback. And then I put a little star next to this one that says, But decide whether that feedback is something that you want to actually implement. And here's why. So many people will ask for feedback on something, and then they're like, what the hell? Who is telling me this stuff? Because these people that are offering feedback are not where they want to be. I respect everyone's opinion when you tell me feedback on something. I will read it. I will hear it. I even press a little like button on Facebook so I know what I've read and what I haven't. But I'm telling you right now that the people who give me feedback, who are ahead of where I want to be, like 2 years ahead of me, maybe a year ahead of me, those are the people that I'm really going to be looking at. That is the feedback that I really, really want. Someone told me once, why are you giving people in the cheap seats an opportunity to be on the field with you when it comes to feedback? And that is so, so true. And I apologize if I messed up that quote. I just did it straight from my brain, but it's so true. We have so many people in our lives, and this goes for family too. This goes for your mom or your spouse or your partner. When you're asking for feedback and you show them your prices and they're like, holy shit, that's way too high. Are they going to be one of your ideal clients? Do they run a business? Are they currently where you want to be in a year or 2 years? Because if not, it doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean they're just being jerks to you, but they don't know what you're trying to find out. I would never go to a heart surgeon for a pap smear. Okay, they are not the expert on OB concerns. Now, if I had a heart concern, I would definitely go see them, but I'm not going to someone who doesn't know what I need to know. And it's so important that when we're asking for feedback, and that doesn't mean you have to be a jerk to someone, right? If they give you feedback and they're not where you want to be, that's okay too. You can take it in and you can honor that and say thank you, but look specifically for the feedback from the people who are ahead of you, for the people who are in front of you. And by in front of you, I mean like in years. So someone who's a year ahead of where you want to be. If you're at 50,000 in revenue, maybe you want to learn from someone who's at 100,000 in revenue. If you're at 300,000 in revenue, maybe you want to learn from someone who's at 500,000. But if you're at 300,000 in revenue and you're taking advice from someone who's at 20,000, chances are that advice is probably not going to be something that will apply to you. Now, there are always exceptions to this. People can be knowledgeable without necessarily having certain things. But for the most part, you want to see feedback from people who are where you want to be. Ask for that feedback. Honor it. Be kind. Lose the ego and be respectful, and always keep an open mind. Do you guys see how we keep going back to these over and over again? Because I just listed the first 3, right? All right, let's move forward. Next up is number 4. Implement. I was going to expand on that and make it more, but really the most important thing when it comes to the feedback and things that you're learning and the things that people are offering you as far as feedback and knowledge and expertise is to actually implement that. Now, I want to share with you a little trick of something that I used to do. I don't do it as much anymore, but when I was first learning, I would be in these groups of these amazing business people and I would see them offer tips and I was like, holy shit, that's really good. Now, this was also before Facebook had the save feature, so you could just save it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you are. But for me, I actually have an Asana board, a list of all of the changes that I want to make that are based on this feedback that I've read in groups. For instance, someone once gave information on how to state something on a price list, and I really, really liked it. And so I put that on my price list, but I didn't do it right away because you got life going on. You have clients, you have kids, you have family, whatever's happening. But the bottom line is that I put it on my list so that when it came time to implement price list changes, it was there and I could add that language onto my price list. So many people are procrastinating. I know this entirely too well because I am an expert at procrastinating. What the hell is procrastinating, right? Well, to put it very bluntly, it is learning to put off actually having to do something. It is reading the books, listening to the podcasts without actually implementing anything, without taking action. And that action is what creates the clarity that you need to move forward. If you're not taking action, then you're just spinning your wheels and going, well, I think this might work. This kind of sounds good, but you're not actually doing anything with it. If you don't know what to do something. If you don't know where to start, you're like, I really need to market. I really need to do something. Then do something. Stop going through every course that you have purchased trying to learn something if you're not going to implement it. It is time to start taking action. Remember when I said one of the things that I see in successful business owners is the willingness to learn, the openness to learn, the opportunity to be teachable? Well, this is the second thing that I see in super successful business owners is they take action. They don't sit there for weeks going, well, Brooke talked about this in marketing, but, I thought about it. I'm not really sure if it'll work for me. No, they're not doing that. They are going for it. They are taking action and they are not asking for permission on it. They learn something and they implement. Because you know what? That's really what business comes down to is failing forward over and over and over again. You learn something, you try it. If it doesn't work, you tweak it. If it works, hooray, systematize it and automate that shit. I swear to you, that is how business will work and you will watch your business grow if you continue to implement and take action and keep moving forward. I don't know serves no one. You saying, I don't know how to do that isn't getting you any closer to the end. And I say this with love, guys, because I have literally procrastinated years of my life away. I even do that on the teaching side. I'm like, how do I need to set this up? How do I need to set up a shop? And then I will spend way too much time doing that instead of actually putting together the shop. That's why the shop was so delayed, which by the way, if you have not been to the shop and you need templates, go to shopwithbrooke.com. Not a commercial, just me throwing that out there. Number 4 is to actually implement and take action on what you're learning. Take action on the feedback. Update things. When someone tells you there's a typo, don't just hear them, go in and fix it. Take action. And number 5, dun, 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 the big finale. When someone offers you feedback or expertise, be thankful and show that gratitude. You know what? I'm going to make myself a little note right now. Sorry, you're going to hear me typing. I wanted to make a note because I want to do a whole podcast episode on this. Being thankful, having gratitude, but then showing that gratitude is so crazy important. So many of us will comment in a Facebook group and be like, oh my gosh, this was so helpful. Thank you so much. And that's awesome. But you know what would be even more awesome is to go and leave a review somewhere public. How many of us want our clients to leave us reviews? I even have a template on how to ask for reviews. How many of us want our clients to leave us reviews, but we're not leaving reviews for other people? Have you ever had a course that was amazing? And did you actually do something about it? Did you write a testimonial? You can even just email it to the course creator or post it in a Facebook group and be like, you know what? I really love this. I took this away from it. Thank you so much. Being grateful is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Gratitude is huge. I have entire journals that are just for gratitude, but actually showing that gratitude when it comes to learning and being taught and courses and expertise that people are sharing can be huge. Everyone is human. Everyone wants a little bit of validation. Even if they have the utmost confidence, it still feels good to have someone say, you know what, that really helped me and I so appreciate it. It is not enough to just be thankful. You need to show your gratitude to people. You need to reach out and say thank you. You need to post something, post a review on Google. If you went to a restaurant and it was amazing, say so, not just to them, but actually on the website, on Google, on Yelp, whatever your flavor is. Be thankful, have gratitude, and actually show that gratitude because what you give out comes back. And that is a religious, spiritual, whatever you want to believe, okay? It's in the Bible. It's part of Hinduism. It's part of Buddhism. It doesn't matter where we're at. The bottom line is that whatever you give out, you will get back. It is so important that we are offering gratitude when people go out of their way to help us. Even if it's something super silly, like sending an extra template or, oh my gosh, you know what? This wasn't working right. I wanted to follow up, make sure it's okay. Excellent service, let's be real, is becoming kind of rare now. So when you get it, it's really, really important to show that gratitude to the person that offered it to you. So let's kind of do a recap real quick. I know this episode was a little shorter than others. These are my 5 tips to remain teachable to see success in your business. This is huge, you guys. And I'm telling you right now, this is something I don't see very often anymore. And when I see it, I will intentionally make a note of that person and come back in a year and look to see. And 9 times out of 10, they are seeing wild success because they are practicing these skills. As a business owner, we need to be teachable. We need to maintain an open mind and continue learning. So number 1, keep an open mind. Number 2, lose the ego and be respectful. Number 3, ask for feedback and help. And I want to add a little caveat to that too, that you need to understand that when an educator can't respond right away, that they have their own lives and businesses as well. Have a little grace for people, because when you ask for help and you don't get a response immediately, chances are they're not ignoring you. There's probably a very good reason, the same reason that you don't get back to your clients within 5 minutes either. Number 4, implement. Take action. Don't use procrastinating as an excuse to not do what you know you should be doing so that you can see the success you want to see in your business. And number 5, have gratitude when someone offers you help, expertise, or even courses that you paid for. Show that gratitude. And even better if you show it in a public way, because what you put out, you will get back. If you want reviews from your clients, you need to be giving reviews to other people too. We are all consumers, right? We are in a consumer-based society and culture. And while parts of that are not necessarily good, like single-use plastics, I'm kind of the bottled water no girl around here. We don't do bottled water in this house. But we are in a consumer-based society, and we can also consume expertise and knowledge. And when that helps us, we need to let someone know. We need to be thankful and show that gratitude to the person that extended that to us. I know that some of my opinions in this episode may not be popular, and I'm okay with that. Because you know what? As I said, I've been in this business for a very long time, and I have watched people come and go. I have watched educators come and go. I have seen people come in like a whirlwind, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, they're so amazing. And within 6 months, they're gone and no one can get a hold of them. The people who have been around for a long time have a lot to offer. And most of us are really willing to help. Be kind. Be respectful. Lose the ego. We are all just learning from other people. And I'll tell you what, even 13 years in, I'm learning from the new people too. Boudoir is exploding right now. It is huge. And I fucking love that. I really, really, really love that. And part of that is me watching how other people approach things, how other people approach certain issues that have come up. I really love learning about that stuff as well. So always keep an open mind, be teachable, be willing to learn. And I promise when you take action based on that, you will see crazy success in your business. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me at hello@businessstraightup.com. And if you loved this content, can you head over to iTunes and leave a review? If you're like, Brooke, I don't even know where to find this on iTunes, you can go to businessstraightup.com/iTunes, all one word. And that will take you directly to the iTunes page. You can open it on your phone. If you take a screenshot of your review before you actually hit submit, because once you hit submit, it kind of goes into the nethers. I don't even know where it goes for a little bit before it's public, but email it over to me at hello@businessstraightup.com, and I would love to offer you a free gift. What you do matters. Your gift matters, and I can't wait to see how you impact the world. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening to Business Straight Up. I'm so glad that you could join us today. Check out the show notes for this and all of the episodes at businessstraightuppodcast.com. And I can't wait to talk with you again. Have a great day.